So I think it's been a pretty successful week. Well, the last week was pretty successful in accomplishing the goal to finish the song. And so what we did is we went ahead and submitted the song in, and I'm actually surprised because it's Saturday right now, and the song got approved. Well, I submitted it in Friday, and the song got approved pretty much instantly. But I set the submission date to June 12th. And the reason I did this is because I wanted more time to kind of put things together. And I also wanted to be able to pitch it out to like Spotify, things like that. So therefore I have the ability to give them time to see if I can pitch it to the curated playlist and that sort of thing. So all this gives me more time to work on stuff, but now we're entering a new week. So therefore we need 3 new goals for this week. And so I'm thinking this upcoming week, the 3 goals that I want to go for are, I want to come up with 10 content ideas for the May release. Sorry, it's not the May release anymore. It's going to be the June release. So basically we skipped May. So for the June release, I want to also come up with all of the ad content that is going to go with the June release of this song. So this is the meta ad portion that I'm going to be running. And then I also want to finish another song. So therefore I can go ahead and be preparing for July, because ultimately the goal and what I'm wanting to accomplish is I want to have my catalog be at 30 songs by the end of the year. And that's pretty ambitious. That's pretty ambitious goal, because that means I need to write 19 more songs. And I think for most people, writing 19 songs is not difficult. And it's not necessarily that it's difficult for me, but it's just like, I want 19 quality songs. I don't want just whatever songs to go out. And I'm a perfectionist when it comes to certain things. Like, I will spend time to make sure it's right in every way possible, and I'm OCD about stuff. So therefore it can kind of be complicated to finish 19 songs by the end of the year. But I do think that it's possible, and I think that I can accomplish that goal. So that's what I'm going to work towards. So with that, I think those are going to be the goals that I have for this week. It's going to be those 3 things: 10 content ideas for short form, finish all the ads that I plan on releasing with the song, as well as finishing another song. So those are going to be the goals. So right now what I'm doing is I have this spreadsheet that I created, and pretty much in the spreadsheet, it shows all the beats that I have produced right now that I actually do like and would considering making a song to. And what I'm doing is I randomly shuffled these because I want to be able to just make the songs. I don't want to be in a situation like, oh, let me specifically decide on which beat to use, that sort of thing, because that's when I feel like I start getting in my head about stuff. Work has been somewhat stressful because of the new project that we're working on right now. It kind of drains me by the end of the day. But at the same time, though, I'm no longer doing a lot of extracurricular activities type deal. And well, it's not extracurricular activities, but extra stuff. Like, I don't have extra stuff in my way. So I'm taking a break for the summer on the PhD courses, nothing going on there. And so that frees up a lot more time. So I'm not adding this thing to my list, but one of the things that I think it's important, and this is something that I don't have, and I find myself kind of struggling with this every time I release a new song, is you need a release strategy. You need a release strategy, and you would think that anyone would have one, but no. It's been over a year since I've been trying to go heavy into this whole independent artist career, and I have not come up with a release strategy. So that's something that I'm going to do right now. I need to come up with my overall strategy step by step on exactly how I plan on going about releasing the songs that I'm going to release. So I have my release strategy together. But in the process of putting together that release strategy, I kind of came across this other idea or this other concept that I think I want to try out. But the thing is, I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it for the week, because I think that's how you screw up your entire week. Whenever you're trying to have weeks that are goal oriented, I think you screw them up when you try to do things that are just too much and you kind of get overwhelmed by everything. But one of the things that I was thinking about, and I know that this works, I've seen it work before, and I think it kind of goes into 2 pieces. It goes into 1, trying to help you to promote your music, but then also 2, it goes into the category of you loving music to the point where you create playlists that you personally like to listen to, but also someone else would be able to listen to as well. And because of that, you can kind of sprinkle your music into it also. And there's kind of an entire promotion campaign type deal that goes with that too. So the goals are now, 1, we're still going to make the 10 content ideas for the June release. We're also going to finish all the ads that are going to go out with the June release. And we want to finish another song for this week. But there's going to be a 4th goal. I want the 4th goal to be this week is we want to curate a playlist. We want to curate a playlist of songs that are good, that come in and they flow really nice. And then once we can get a really well crafted playlist, I then want to work on promoting that playlist. So we're actually going to put a budget behind that playlist and promote it. And with that though, we also sprinkle some of our songs in there too. So that kind of helps us lift up our songs as well. And I think what this does long term, because obviously once we can kind of get this right, like I said, it goes into the category of our love for music and even playlists that we can use, like either working out in the gym or just having a day that, whatever the vibe of the playlist is, it's something beneficial for us too. So I think that that's important. So with that though, if we make the playlist and we run ads and we promote it, what we can actually kind of do is if the playlist, let me take that back. And see, this is the thing about me. I don't like to do stuff like if, right? Because I think that we're kind of in control of our lives and that sort of thing. And I think the more energy and effort that you put into something, the more successful it'll be. I try to get the word if out of my vocabulary. And instead of if, when the playlist becomes successful, our music is in there too. So therefore we kind of get a natural uplift. And I think what it does is it kind of helps us to avoid that caveat of having to submit our songs into playlisters, because I use services like Submit Hub and that sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times, you're going to get denied for those playlists. And then also too, it may not give you the results you want. So why not create our own playlist that has the potential to also gain us traction? It's something that we personally like and enjoy ourselves too, so we can listen to the playlist. And then as well, the other caveat of it is we would be able to put our songs in there and have a playlist that we can put our music in indefinitely and never have to pay anyone else for the playlist. You see what I'm saying? So I think those are the benefits of it. And being a playlist curator is not easy. It's not easy. And I think my goal is not to necessarily be a playlist curator, but to be able to create a playlist that I personally like, but also can kind of use it to my slight advantage as well and have my music in it for free. So it's Sunday and we've gotten quite a bit of stuff done right now. And one of the things done is we got pretty much a lot of our release strategy for June's release done. We got the copyright submitted into like BMI, MLC and Sound Exchange. We got those things done. We did our pitches and stuff for TuneCore and for Spotify. So that part's done. And we've actually already been working on the new song right now, which is going to be one of the goals for this upcoming week. For this current week that we're in right now. So that's kind of where we are right now in the process. I've been slow at actually getting this song done right now, because I don't know. I feel like I haven't really locked into it yet. But I have the hook done, which is cool, and just need to work on the verses. La, la, la. So it's 8 p.m. on Sunday. And with that, that's going to conclude the day. So where I got to today is I got the first verse and the hook done for this new song. I just have to finish the second verse, and then I'm going to go through and kind of refine all the lyrics and that sort of thing. And once I feel like the lyrics make sense and they work for me, that's when I'm going to move on into actually doing the recording. So the way that this is going right now, it's actually going pretty good because of the fact that I think I'm way more ahead on this song than I was expecting to be. And I am very appreciative of that. I think that it's kind of writing it pretty fluent, because what I'm noticing is that as long as I kind of stay in the groove of writing and actually making songs, I'm good. But it's like whenever I go some time, because obviously I'm distracted by all the other projects that I got working. And then I get back into actually trying to write again. It just seems like it's a little more complicated. But with this time, it's going really, really smooth. And like I said, I just got one more verse and then to go in and try to get this recorded, do some production, and then this song will be done. The toughest part that I've noticed right now with my music process is going to be the writing. And once I can get better at that and speeding that up, I think everything else will just kind of follow suit. So once we're done with that, we need to work on the 10 content ideas and as well as all the ad creatives for the June release. And then as well too, we'll work on that playlist. But so far we're moving pretty good. So generally what I do at night is I try to make a plan on what I plan on doing for the next day. And usually none of that happens. It never happens the way that I intend. So I was supposed to finish the second verse of the song. That was supposed to be done by 8 a.m. It's almost 8 a.m. Have I done that? No. And the reason being is because I've been kind of doing research on things. I've been updating bios and stuff on various social platforms, because I think one of the issues that I have with social media or creating content in general is the lack of authenticity. I think that people just They're trying to put on this facade on what they think they are, what they think people want to see. And that shit's boring. It's absolutely boring because it's not real life. It's fabricated. And so I don't want to do that. And I think that when I was writing some of these bios for the various platforms, I think that I did a poor job because it wasn't truly authentic. And I guess when I say authentic, I'm thinking more so of the tone, the actual tone of what was coming off. So I've changed that. I've changed that everywhere because I don't want to do that. I want to be my real self, because at the end of the day, the way I look at these videos or things that I'm doing is I want to be able to look back on this stuff 5-10 years later and be like, okay, this was my thought process then. How has that changed now? Because one thing that I've noticed, and I wish I would have started this shit a lot earlier, because one thing I noticed is how drastically I have shifted, like very drastically. And so I want to be able to see those shifts in real time and be able to come back and actually view that. So I think although I like the fact that these videos are somewhat helpful, or I hope they're helpful and useful to other people, I really want them to be somewhat of a reminder of where we come from, what we've done in order to make it to where we're going, and just to see that evolution. So I spent time updating those sort of things, which I still count that as being productive towards the overall goals for this week. But now I need to actually get into that. So the thing that I need to do right now is I actually need to go and watch the podcast video for my wife's podcast and be able to get that piece done. So then once we do that, then I think we'll get back to work on actual music and other things.
Yeah. Senior year was kind of a struggle. Hung out with this girl and she gave me her number.
So we finished editing, well, not editing, but reviewing the podcast video. And now that's bounced down and everything. So the next step that we have to do right now is get back to work on our to-do list. Let's see. So, okay. We are still behind because obviously, like I said, I didn't finish the second verse on that song. So I have that. And then I was supposed to, at 9, I was supposed to create ads for the June release, which the problem is with that though, is it's 9:30. So we're behind on there too. I think it's an important thing to try and get the most out of your fresh brain or creative juices. Does that make sense? No. It's better to get the most out of your day in the beginning of the morning, because I think that's when you're most fresh. And I think that's when the best lyrics and that sort of thing are going to come in. So I need to work on that first.
She was cool if you're into drama. Thank God dodged the bullet. She get her notes from her mama. You see, I'm not the type to judge by appearance, but based on her actions.
So I didn't really get the song done because I couldn't really find anything that I liked for it, honestly. So I kind of just put that on pause for now. And right now I'm about to get ready to go to the gym. But before that, I was actually listening to a video because obviously I'm procrastinating. And I discovered something that I think is really interesting. And it's these systems that I've been trying to create for myself. I think that I've been trying to create a bunch of systems that don't really work for me. I found this video that I found super helpful. And I think the issue with my day-to-day task is I need to be able to outline the goal of a specific task session in order to actually complete it. Because I think that's the issue. I think a lot of times when I'm actually working on tasks, I don't really have a clear defined goal on what the outcome of the task should be at the end. And I think this is why I spin my wheels a lot, because I'm consistently trying to think about what's next while I'm doing stuff, which kind of discourages me because I feel like I'm in this infinite loop of just working. And it's just like, it seems like there's no end in sight. So that's something that I want to work on and I want to try.
That was apparently wrong. She had a man, but he wasn't active. A fatal attraction put me in places I didn't belong. I took the chance, cause I wasn't hurting. But watches and purses, but that shit wasn't working. Got so stuck on this person that I forgot she was taken. Only took a few months to meet the new guy she was dating, it seems. Sometimes you shouldn't risk it. Don't move too fast, look what you're That's the way it goes.
She always sits so close up.
hard to shake. Seems the more I try to fight, it's like the longer that it takes. Tried to reason with myself, but I got lost inside the chase. Said you'd always be one.
Did my part. And now, let's get back to work. Things are just kind of going crazy right now. So yesterday at work, there was a lot that piled up. There was training that I needed to knock out, and also trying to stay on track with this new project that we're working on. So that was crazy. And then in the middle of that, I discovered something really stupid, which I'm going to show you. And it's so frustrating to me. And so the way I work is I will get annoyed with things. I'll get really pissed off with stuff. And then like less than 5 seconds, I'm over it. Like, I don't care. I got over it. But then when I remind myself of it again, I'm pissed off about it again. And so that's the problem. And so this morning I'm pissed off about it again. And I'm going to show you what it is. But it's so stupid. But anyway, so today, nothing went to plan as of yesterday as far as things go. Where we are right now, it's Wednesday, by the way. I have not completed the 10 content ideas, have not finished the song yet, have not finished the ads at all, and have not built the playlist. So, I mean, it's Wednesday and we're kind of behind. But although I'm sitting here and I'm somewhat complaining about a lot of this, I'm not going to lie. I actually do like this. I do. I like it when I'm pressed. I don't know. For some reason, when I'm pressed, that's when I work the best. And so I enjoy this. But at the same time, it's also frustrating and hard to do other things while I'm feeling that way. So anyway, right now I'm gonna work a bit, and on my break, I'm gonna show you what's going on right now. It's really ticking me off. Look at this shit. I don't even know how the fuck this happens. Like, how does that even happen? And look, that truss up there looks like it's bent or something too. That's crazy. So they got it fixed. They got the HVAC system fixed. It's crazy because even the guy, he couldn't explain exactly how that happens. He think that whatever type of adhesive that they use to seal it just must not have worked right, and that it just failed. So they had to get it fixed. It ended up costing about $525, I think, which isn't crazy, but still an unnecessary expense. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's what you expect when you own a house. It's just kind of how it works. I mean, you have unexpected expenses, but it definitely gets annoying. It's Friday. Still have not accomplished anything on our list, like, at all. Watch it come to life. Well, almost. What the hell? Our friend here is not working for some reason. I don't know if this bulb died. It did. What the hell, bro? Okay, so we got a problem. Wait, or am I wrong? Am I on some bullshit? Hold up. I might be wrong, honestly. I was on some bullshit. Never mind. For some reason it got turned off. I don't know how. We generally don't turn off this bulb. Damn, that shit packed so much freaking heat. It radiates from that thing. So I got stuck on literally the last bar of this song, which would complete our task for writing this song for this week. And it's already 4 p.m. So I got about 4 more hours in what I consider a working day before I end things today. And I don't know what I'm going to do about this because it's a weird spot that I'm stuck in. I've been working on it for longer than absolutely necessary, but I'm not going to lie, there have been distractions. And I think that's part of the issue. Whenever you're getting locked in, you kind of have to stay in that zone because once you get out of it, it's hard to get your ass back into it. And I think that's kind of what's going on right now. So I feel what I probably need to do is just kind of let this simmer because don't get me wrong, I've come up with ideas for this last bar for this song, but I just don't like them. They're just not as good as they could be. So therefore, I'm just not going to accept it because I don't want to accept mediocrity. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. I think what I want to do is just kind of take a break for the moment and maybe take like an hour break, no, I'm not going to take an hour break. See, that's how you mess up right there. That's exactly how you mess up. I'm not going to do that. Maybe 20 minutes max and then try this again because I feel like it gets to a point where you're just kind of spinning your wheels and you know, some people are like, oh, just kind of push through it. Don't get me wrong, you can push through it, but I feel like you just end up coming up with more garbage. And for me personally, again, I want this to be as good as possible, so I don't want to do that. It's 8:51, and I literally just finished the lyrics of this song. So I got stuck on this last part, and I think it's because I tried to keep it going for way too long. And I finally finished it though, obviously. And I really do like it. I think that this song came out really good because generally when I write songs, I feel like words kind of come to my head and they sound right in a beat. But recently I've been trying to push myself into actually being able to pull that out of me instead of just allowing it to come to me, because just allowing it to come to me can sometimes take a while, which I want to be more effective with writing my songs. So with that being said, I know this is crazy because, again, you got to keep this in mind. I know there are people who go through this and they just freestyle a bunch of music and then bam, throw that out there. And I can do that. I can definitely do that, but I don't like to do that because, again, I'm going for a certain level of quality with my music and a certain care. So all in all, the writing process for this particular beat took 10 hours, which is absolutely crazy, but it's actually going down because songs have taken me a lot longer. So we're done. And with that, that marks off 3 out of the 4. So right now we're pretty much done with this week. This particular week is done. As far as the goals go, again, 3 out of 4, which I'm not completely upset with myself because I kind of threw that 4th one in there last minute and kind of tried to force myself to get it done, and I didn't. But oh well, it is what it is. We are going to call it a night, and then we start a new week tomorrow. And tomorrow we have new goals, so that's gonna be it. That's gonna be a wrap for this week. It's been good.